So today we're going to be starting a series called Understanding Salvation. I'm not really sure how many parts this is going to be, but there does seem to be a lot of inconsistencies with the way Christians understand salvation. So I hope that as we press back to the Bible, we can all understand a little bit more of what the Bible teaches us about this so great of salvation that God has prepared for us. Now, before understanding salvation, I think you have to understand what was lost in the garden. See, we were made in the image of God. We are a spirit that has a soul and a body. The spirit is the real us. Our soul expresses what that spirit is. The soul is the mind, the will, and emotions. The soul comes from the word psyche in the Greek, where you get the word psychology, or the study of the internal person, the study of the internal soul. Body is what expresses what the soul tells it to do. It's the way that we move and the way that we sense in the world, our sight, our seeing, our smelling. Those are all functions of the body. And we know that we were created into the image of God to know God and to commune with God. We see that when Adam was created, God set him in this beautiful garden. He had all that he wanted. And there was only one thing that God asked. He said, look, there's two trees in the midst of the garden. The tree of life, eat from that freely, all that you like. And the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, do not eat from that. God did that so that Adam would have a free will, a choice. See, for love to be real, it must be freely given and freely received. If there's no volitional choice, then we're really just a bunch of robots. We're just a bunch of high-tech robots saying, I love you, or I don't love you, I don't love you. And love can never be real unless it's freely given and freely received. So the one command that Adam had was to trust God, to trust God's life, and to eat from that tree of life, and to stay away from running his own life by judging what good or evil is, and just trusting God, communing with God, and that God would move him in the direction and guide him in the direction that he wanted. For all that God made was good. Now, what happened in the garden is that we see that when they partook of that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that day God said that they would surely die. Well, did they die in their body? No, because we see them running off as soon as they took it. Did they die in their soul? Did they not have a mind, will, and emotions, an internal self? No, they still had that. But their communion with God, spiritual death, had entered the world through Adam's sin. So, as people that we are born through the generations all come from Adam, we are born into this spiritual death condition. So, for one sin of Adam, all of that was passed down to mankind or humankind because he was the head of humankind as God had created him in his image. So, when Jesus says, I've come so that they may have life and have it abundantly, think about that in the tree of the knowledge of good and evil and the tree of life. Jesus didn't come to make bad people good. That is such a device of the devil that plays religion, that says, oh, it's all about your good behavior. No, Jesus came to give dead people life. That happens within their spirit. That's why you must be born again of the Spirit. It's not talking about being physically born again, but be born again of the Spirit. Why? Because you were spiritually dead because of Adam's sin. And now because of Christ, you can be born again of the Spirit. Now, next time we're going to talk about how he accomplished this on the cross and what that looks like. But just setting this foundation that it was spiritual death that entered the world will help to clear up a lot of the inconsistencies we have in the salvation message. I thank you for watching. For more of these videos and for this series, you can go to www.promised.grace.com. You should see it on the screen. Thanks and have a wonderful day.